Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Tarot Talk. I'm Tommy, and I'll be hosting your weekly reading today. Now, we're going to dive right in with a super quick overview, but do stick around after that for the in-depth reading. All right, Scorpio, starting off with Page of Pentacles, followed by Nine of Wands, rounding out with Temperance. All right, Scorpio. So it looks like recently you've started a new journey or that you've started contemplating a new journey, some type of new path before you. And it looks like you're doing a lot of learning right now. So you're kind of looking at this shiny new object, right? And you're trying to decide exactly how you should proceed, what's the best path to take. How can you make sure that you're starting out on the right foot here with the Page of Pentacles? The Nine of Wands here suggests that something has caused you to start thinking about that this wasn't something that just came out of nowhere, but it might be by necessity that you're going to find yourself on this new path. In the Nine of Wands here, we see this guy, he's a little bit weathered, kind of battle worn, bumped and bruised, a little bit tired. But he still stands ready, right? He still stands ready to guard and ready to battle another day. So you're not giving up on this, but it does look like you're considering maybe going a different direction. Now, Temperance shows up here, and here there's this angelic figure pouring this water evenly between the two cups, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land, suggesting that balance needs to be key in whatever this new thing is that you're considering doing or this new journey that you're about to go on. That's further represented by this path that goes off into these mountains, signaling that there may be some challenges ahead in this journey, but it's going to be more in the form of learning lessons in a very positive way. You've got divine guidance here as you're stepping into this new journey. So just make sure that you're doing it from a balanced and not a rushed approach. So learning everything you can learn about it is the best way to move forward. All right, we're going to dive a little bit deeper here and explore the whole situation. But before we do, I want to see, Scorpio, how are you showing up in this right now? Spirit, how is Scorpio showing up here? Ooh, this is the one. All right, Justice. Well, it looks like maybe you didn't need me to tell you that you need to have the balanced approach here, because that's really what this is signaling. You've got this kind of this sword here, which tells us that there is some knowledge that you're bringing to the table on this journey, or maybe the knowledge of something that caused you to go on this journey. But the two pillars here signify strength and balance, further signified by the scales of equality here. So it looks like you're already preparing to take a balanced and methodical approach to this. Now, behind the scenes here is something hidden behind this purple veil. So something is about to be revealed. What I'm not sure of is if it's you that will be doing the revealing to someone else or to others. Maybe you have a secret behind the screen, since that's how you're showing up here. Or it could be that something else is going to present itself to further guide you in how to proceed here. That's really cool. All right, let's explore this further. We're going to be using the Celtic cross spread today, Scorpio. That's going to give us a little bit of guidance into the past, the present, the future, and also tell us what's going on in your conscious and subconscious. So let's see what kind of advice we can get for Scorpio today on this matter. Now, while I get your cards ready, please do keep in mind this is a general reading. So if it's not resonating with you, please do leave it behind. But I would ask you to share this message with somebody else who may need to see it. Do also stick around, because there may be a message that comes out later in this reading that is meant for you. And if you're going to be sticking around with us today, please do hit that subscribe button. Remember, that doesn't cost anything. It's free, but it really does help support the channel, allows me to keep bringing these readings week after week. All right, Scorpio, let's see what your challenge is right now. Interesting. So you've got the Ten of Swords here as your challenge or your obstacle, which you must overcome. Oftentimes, this signifies some type of betrayal has occurred. So that may be what's hiding behind this veil, or maybe what's going to be presented to you that you're not quite aware of yet. A little bit early in the reading to tell which way that is. But here in the Ten of Swords, we see this kind of darkness of night almost representing the unknown. But being that this is a 10, and with the kind of rising sun here, the breaking of daylight in the background, would indicate that one cycle is about to end and a new one is going to begin. So while you may be, or whether or not you are aware of this betrayal, it is, you're kind of at the worst point of it, and you're going to start healing and moving on from here. So the challenge would be just knowing, I think, exactly how to move on here. Which again, we're being told is this balanced approach. So let's see what's going on in your subconscious. All right, in your subconscious, you've got the Four of Pentacles here. This is signifying that you're feeling really guarded. So this is definitely something that you are doing behind the scenes. It's leading me to believe that you are the one that's keeping something behind the veil here in Justice. You can see he's clinching on with both hands to this pentacle in his arms, rather. He's also holding them down with both feet, and he's got these pentacles on the brain. So this might be a financial betrayal, but not necessarily. There's something here that's leading me to believe that your thoughts are being closely guarded, you're being careful what you say, and you just feel like it's not quite time for you to go public with whatever move you're going to make. It's further signified by this isolation. See how this town or this city is behind him, and he's here in the foreground, all by himself. And so I think with that showing up in your subconscious, that's kind of how you're feeling, is a little bit quiet, reserved, again, guarded and away from everyone. Let's see the recent past here. All right, so recently you have felt the need to juggle something. Now, this could be your decision whether or not to move forward, or just how you're going to proceed in this situation in general. He's got the two pentacles here. He's juggling them in both hands. They're held together by this kind of infinity loop, signaling that you might have felt recently like this is a never-ending juggling, that you're just never going to get out of this situation, never be able to move forward. There's also these ocean waves in the background with the ships going up and down. And so they're kind of being tossed about. That's really signifying life's ups and downs. But the positive here is with the ships staying on course, and while they're going up and down, they're still remaining steady in their course. That's representing that you have been able to master those hurdles that are coming your way. Challenging as they may be, you've been able to navigate the waters and still do right by yourself. So good job there, Scorpio. Also, he's standing on one foot here as he juggles, so that would indicate that you've been able to, again, while you're struggling a little bit, you've been able to maintain and kind of hold your own, so to speak. So very good there. Let's see you're conscious of what's actually going on that you're aware of. All right, so the Six of Cups here is a very nostalgic card. This card is all about looking to the past. You can see this kind of old-timey scene. This always reminds me of like a Polaroid picture or something like that. You've got a child here handing one of the six full cups to this older woman over here. So it's kind of signaling looking back to the past, typically in a positive way. So I think if there was a betrayal here, you might be looking back to better times. You might be reflecting on how this was a more positive situation in the background, how, you know, maybe when this, before this betrayal happened, everything was kind of sunshine and roses. It's happier times gone by. So that may be why you're a little bit challenged and a little bit guarded as to how you're going to move forward, because you're trying to remember the good times right now and just really reflect on those. So I can see where there's a bit of an internal conflict or a struggle here going on as to exactly how to move forward. All right, let's take a look at your near future. All right, so you've got the moon here in the near future. There's these two towers. This path in the middle is being lit by this kind of mysterious or mystic moonlight here. there's a wild wolf on one side and a domesticated dog on the other side. And the water here is kind of broken. It's rippling, right? It's not really a clear reflection of anything. So this could indicate that a path forward is going to be lit for you soon. So if you're struggling right now on maybe which option to take, or again, how to proceed the right way, it looks like there's going to be some clarity in the near future around that. Now, that said, it's going to be a path that maybe that option was available to you this entire time, hidden in, it was right there in plain sight, but hidden in the dark, if that makes sense. Now, what you're going to want to be careful of in that situation is the moon can sometimes represent illusions. So you don't want to go down the wrong path or choose the wrong outcome. Basically, it's referring back to this Page of Pentacles energy here, where you're going to want to take your time, take it day by day, ensure there's balance, and ensure you're learning about the option, even if that's learning from your past self. So you may need to draw from past experiences here to decide which is the best way, or if this newly lit path is going to be the right path for you to take. So that's kind of interesting. A path is going to present itself, but it doesn't mean that you have to take that path. That's interesting there. Okay, let's take a look at how you see yourself in the situation. Well, you definitely see yourself leaving the situation here, or at least that's what you're strongly considering here. So you've got the Six of Swords, and in the Six of Swords are these three people in this boat. They've all got their backs turned toward us, indicating they're going away from us. In the front of the boat here are these six vertical swords, and that's going to represent lessons that you've learned. That doesn't necessarily mean that there are exactly six lessons that you've learned here. It just means that there are some lessons in this situation that you're going to keep with you, having learned those to better yourself. Now, right now, once again, we have this turbulent water showing up here. So just like the Two of Pentacles, where you've got these waves, again, it's showing that you've been riding these waves. You've been in these choppy waters, but you see yourself rowing away from that. These waters out here are nice, calm, and smooth, and that's where you desire to go. You want to get out of this situation. You want to go ahead. So that's kind of I'm sorry you've had to learn some lessons here, but that's a good positive outlook here that it is going to be a calmer future awaiting you. Let's see what your external influences are. All right, so you've got the Emperor here. Now, this usually represents a person of authority, sometimes a masculine figure, but not always. Remember, cards don't always, whatever gender you see on the cards doesn't necessarily reflect who it is. But I would say this typically comes through with like boss energy, father like energy, somebody who's quite rigid. You see these mountains in the background, that really indicates rigidity. He's typically well liked, but sometimes can be too firm, too structured, too rigid to move or to be flexible in this situation. So there could be somebody that you look up to, that you've been confiding in here in this situation. And they may be saying, yeah, this isn't a great thing that happened to you back here, but is leaving really the best thing? Or do you think you should stay and work it out? And I think there could be some wisdom there to live by. But there's sort of this, they're showing up to me almost like a hurdle in the situation. I think they want what's best for you, but it could be that they also are looking at what's best for them. So it may not be only your interest that they're looking out for here. I'm saying that particularly if this is like a work matter and this is your boss, that obviously your boss doesn't want to have to replace you if you're wanting to just leave the job altogether. Not saying that that's what you're wanting to do, but that's kind of what I'm getting here in this situation, is that somebody is on kind of both sides of the fence. they want to support you, but they also want something that's going to be kind of the easier path for themselves, which is interesting there. Uh, you'll have to let me know how that resonates with you. Okay, let's take a look at your hopes and fears. We have the Hermit energy right now. And I think what you're hoping to do is draw from your inner wisdom. So here you've got this hermit, and he's standing on top of these mountaintops, which represents he's kind of on top of a challenge, very isolated, very alone, but with this star glowing inside of this lantern that's lighting his way, that indicates a lot of inner wisdom. So um, you're, I think you're hopeful that what's going to come through here is some type of internal guiding light, that there's almost going to be a spark of inspiration that's going to let you know which path to take, which way to go forward, maybe even reveal kind of what's behind the scenes. What's behind the scenes here, I'm getting more and more and more, might be something in your subconscious or something, again, that you are already aware of here. I just can't quite figure out what it is, but I think you know what it is. If you really think about it, this card is going to reflect that you should be going within right now, that some of these answers are going to lie within you. So that's interesting there too. Okay, let's take a look at the outcome. The outcome is you're going to have you've got the Eight of Wands here, which really just indicates all these wands flying through the air. I typically say with this card that you've got a lot of irons in the fire. I think it's going to show that you've still got some sorting out to do here. Remember, this is a weekly reading, and so this is not forever and ever. This is really just looking more or less at the next several days. And I think what this is going to represent here, or should represent for you, is that there's still multiple layers to this situation. So you're going to need to spend that time in that hermit energy, really kind of dissecting this. I'm getting a vision like layers of an onion here, right? We just got to peel back. The answer is not going to be right there on the surface. And it's certainly not just a black and white answer. It could mean that there's even a compromise here to explore to find the outcome that does kind of please all, but ultimately it's going to have to be what feels right in your heart. So knowing whether this is the path forward or what waters you're going to sail into, maybe taking some of the advice that does resonate with you from the Emperor over here, those are all things that you can combine to find the best outcome, rather. So again, very interested. I think you're going to have to spend a lot of time looking within this week, just kind of quietly reflecting, and again, just kind of sorting through the layers without all the outside interference. On the other hand, taking this person's advice is good, but you may need to just kind of politely tell them, like, look, you got to back off a little bit. I'm going to have to figure this out for myself. That message just came through. Okay, let's take a look at your shadow card. You've got the Knight of Wands. So this is, again, you moving forward. It's moving forward at a nice pace here with a lot of passion about it. What I see in that is because it's in the background kind of governing the whole situation, I think this is what you want to do. You just want to find that spark, that inspiration, that aha moment, and be able to say, that's the path that I want to take, and that's the one I'm going to use going forward, and just be able to start moving forward. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a little bit longer, and that's not meant to discourage you. That's just meant to, wow, that's the one. That's just meant to tell you that, again, do this self-reflecting. Don't act with haste. Everything will become clear in the timing in which it's meant to be presented to you. All right, let's take a look at your Cosmic Wisdom Oracle card here. You've got Lionsgate. The portal calls you to step into your power, let your authentic voice be heard, align with your purpose, and embrace the divine light within you. So again, it's all about going within you this week. Embrace that divine light within you, align with your purpose. Again, serving yourself by doing what serves your heart. Okay, think of a little bit of a deeper purpose here as you're reflecting in your Page of Pentacles energy. Oop, I got one back here that wants to come out. All right, this is your Akashic Records Oracle card. Forgiveness. Withholding forgiveness only hurts you and prolongs the pain. It's time to forgive someone or maybe even yourself so you can stay on the path of your highest potential. That's interesting to come out here, Scorpio, and tells me maybe that's what's going on here is you might feel a little bit stuck because you're not willing to forgive this betrayal that happens here. But remember, I'm sure you've heard many times in life that forgiveness is not just for the other person, forgiveness is also for you. So while you're doing this inner reflection this week, it might be time to release that betrayal, release that hurt, and that may kind of peel back some of these layers and allow you to become less guarded and to find your path ahead. Scorpio, I wish you all the best this week. Spend some time meditating and connecting with yourself. Tune out the guidance that doesn't serve you in this situation, and find the forgiveness in your heart that's needed so that you can move forward on your best path. Have a good week, Scorpio. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next week.